Damn. I'm outside the tunnel. What do you mean? Hello? Hello! Oh, shit. Circle of debate. A missing circle of debate.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Circle of the Mid podcast, episode number 13. Number 13. This is your host, Ivan C., the Devious One, alongside with the hero of all heroes. He's your hero, ladies and gentlemen. He's also my hero as well. Everybody's hero. We're all over the world. He is your hero, ladies and gentlemen, the American hero, Mike Lopez. How's it going?
It's going great. I had my birthday week last week, so I'm refreshed, ready to go.
That's right. We missed you on Sunday. We missed you in the top 5. Obviously, you had your weekend birthday, and so you're finally refreshed. And I'm glad you're actually brand new as well.
That's right.
Brand new. That's right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and start off with, before we do, our other co-host, Potential Killer about Killers. Potential Killer, Josh Berhorn, will join us soon. For technical difficulties, he'll be, joining us shortly. Now, let's go ahead and move on, ladies and gentlemen. What a wrestling week has been going on, and a lot of, rumors and in your windows, but, we're just going to give our opinions about it. Now, let's go ahead and start off actually with SmackDown that caught our attention. So the SmackDown, obviously, what caught my attention was when we obviously saw Kofi Kingston actually, playing the role that, I'm injured ribs after the, Extreme Rules Horror Show, losing the tag team titles to Nakamura and Cesaro. Obviously now, Big E is now on a singles run. So finally, after speculations even from Daniel Bryan, mentioning it in WWE backstage, mentioning he would like to see Big E as a single push. So did Mark Henry, a lot of other peers pressuring for Big E to get his single push. So, Mr. Hero, what do you see this? Do you see a good run for Mr. Big E as a singles?
Absolutely. I think it's been way long overdue. The sky's the limit for Big E. I think, dare I even say maybe a world title run is in the books for him. He was NXT champion, his second NXT champion, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, I mean, right now, or the past few years, I don't even know how many years he's been in the New Day. But, if Kofi Kingston was able to get his WWE Championship run, I'm pretty sure Big E can do a Universal title run. Why not,
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Now, here's another question.
Yeah.
Do you see him as a heel or as a face still?
Ooh. I see him as a face, but, man, it would be so interesting to see him as a full-on heel. It would be very interesting, and I would sign me up. I'm all over that.
Most definitely. I'll be interested in seeing that too, of him turning on New Day and going heel. I mean, and going for the Universal title as well, beating Braun for it finally. I think he deserves that. Why not give him the singles competition or give a good, match against AJ Styles? I wouldn't mind seeing that either.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing Big E. It's finally his time to get a singles push. And he's been there for quite some time already in the company. He's a former Intercontinental Champion, a former NXT, champion, former 6-7 times World Tag Team Champion. So I think it's about that time for him to get a main push. Even as a mid-card level again, bringing prestige to the Intercontinental title. But sorry, AJ has to keep it prestige no matter what. So that's just me, because I'm an AJ guy. But moving forward, talking about SmackDown continuing, what caught my attention, I'm not sure if it caught to you, Mr. Hero, was that Fatal 4-Way, which was the number one contender for tomorrow's SmackDown to face AJ Styles, which was Gran Metalik, Liz Dorado, Shorty G, and obviously Drew Gulak. And so it was a great match. I was really intrigued. It was a not a bad fatal four-way. And obviously, nobody expected. The outcome of the winner was Grand Metalik, as he's going to go ahead and challenge AJ Styles for the Intercontinental Championship. I think, from my opinion, I feel like this is a good move. Finally, something different. But so, what are your thoughts about that match? And do you see new competitors now challenging AJ Styles like Grand Metalik? Did you agree with that win, or how did you feel about it?
Oh, I am all for that win. I've heard nothing but good things about Grand Metalik. And from people like Daniel Bryan, kind of like how we go back about the Big E thing. You know, Grand Metalik has been in Lucha House Party, and it's a faction, but let's see what he can do on his own. I like that luchador high flying style. I think it's very entertaining to see, and I'm kind of daring to say that they're seeing what Cody is doing with the TNT Championship, and maybe they're gonna kind of try to experiment with a sort of similar formula. Maybe not like on a weekly basis to defend the title, but with what Cody is doing with the TNT title, going up against like a Sonny Kiss or a Jungle Boy, these young guys or these people that haven't really gotten their singles push. But in this case, he's going against AJ Styles, and it should be a good match. They should let him do what he does and showcase his abilities to see if the fans will get behind him, which I'm pretty sure they would. Rey Mysterio he's had his career, and I feel like a new luchador could be well received in WWE.
Oh, absolutely. I'm with you 100% on that. And I think also because if you notice as well, like there's not much potential in the main roster. There's a lot of talent that are out because of the COVID, situation that they're fearful for. Some that are, unknown test. Some with injuries. So it's like a long list of talent that are out on both main rosters of Raw and SmackDown, especially with SmackDown. Why not use these potential stars that you have right now that are currently on the roster working? Like, yeah, I'm with you on Grand Metalik, luchador style matches with AJ. I'm looking forward to seeing that match tomorrow. I'm looking forward to seeing that being, pretty much later on. But then I'm looking forward to seeing that. And also, I'm also looking forward, like how you said, like AJ, making the Intercontinental, like kind of like how Cody, defending it every week. That I wouldn't mind seeing either. I think that kind of builds up the Intercontinental Championship, and it's been a long time that we haven't seen the IC belt being prestige. So, I mean, I'm all for it as well. I'm with you that I agree 100%. And now, obviously, let's move forward now with the main event, which was another cinematic match that happened, unfortunately, which was the bar fight between Sheamus and Jeff Hardy. I don't know what to say about it. All I can say for myself is that it was but what really just kind of threw me off was like when Sheamus put the hat on Jeff Hardy's face, he takes it off, and then Jeff Hardy's face paint. It turned me down. It turned me down. Then that Swanton, he didn't hit the Swanton in this event. It's like super cinematic and editing. But I mean, overall, Mr. Hero, what were your thoughts about that match?
Man, I feel like they're kind of overdoing it with the cinematic matches. They saw with the Boneyard match that it worked, and the Money in the Bank match was entertaining. But now it's a case of they're overdoing it, and it's gonna get to the point where it's just gonna lose viewership, and then they're gonna think that it doesn't really work, but I think it does work when used correctly. The Boneyard match was entertaining. Something like the Stadium Stampede match was entertaining. But see, you don't see AEW doing that on a weekly basis. They're not, doing it so often. But as far as this match itself, it was okay. For me, it was okay. I don't know if it was explained why it wasn't on Extreme Rules, because I think it was supposed to be, wasn't it?
I believe, yeah, because it was supposed to be an Extreme Rules, but they didn't do it. The fact because the card was overwhelming, and I think if you recall the last time we spoke about the timing, which by the way, ladies and gentlemen, look at our archives on our YouTube channel. We did discuss about basically them cutting their time on the pay-per-view events because it doesn't make any sense to have 3 hours if it's pointless, you know. So I think also Vince is trying to focus more on his ratings on both shows. So I think that's another thing as well that I'm assuming that Vince doesn't want to, Papa Vinny doesn't want to do. He just wants to more have it, like how he did for the Randy Orton Big Show last week for Raw. It could have been for the Extreme Rules, and then for this one as well, for SmackDown, just to boost the ratings up, because that's what he needs to boost up as of right now. So, I mean, as of right now with these cinematic matches, yes, we knew it worked with the Boneyard. Great one. Didn't work with the Funhouse with Cena and Bray. Did not like it. And also, I mean, as well, that them continuing these cinematic matches is it's not working out. Don't get me wrong, Bruce Pritchard is a great director. Like it looks like a great cinematic movie scene, honestly. But as a pro wrestling fan, it doesn't fit. It honestly does not fit. I don't know if it fits for you or it doesn't fit for me. So I don't know if the audience or the viewers feel the same way, but it does not fit for none of us.
No, it should be kind of like a once a year sort of thing, in my opinion.
I agree. It should be once a year. It should be that. So moving on, with that, I also just want to go ahead and move on with Raw. Obviously, we saw Monday Night Raw. A couple highlights that were really interesting. So one of them, obviously, for me was the highlight was actually Nia and Shayna Baszler was one of the ones that caught my attention. I guess it was supposed to be a match, but it didn't happen. And obviously there was a no contest, which pissed me the hell off. Why would you want to do that? But it happened, and then obviously they attacked an official. They attacked a referee, so they both suspended, one with a fine, and it's just so much. So, I mean, what are your thoughts? Oh, wait, we got a minute.
We got incoming.
We got incoming. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the killer of all killers. He is the killer of all killers. He does apologize because he had technical difficulties, but he's your killer. He's our killer. He's everybody's killers. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Josh Brett Horton.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen?
All right.
Ready for a show tonight?
All right.
Let's do it.
So we were discussing about, just to give you the heads up, what we're discussing shortly was about, we just want to get your thoughts about Big E going as a singles run. We think as a good or bad?
I don't know. I didn't catch SmackDown. I'm so used to it being so fucking boring. I stopped watching it for a little bit there for a couple of weeks. But I'm wondering, I'm curious, I haven't listened to any news or anything, so I don't even know how it happened. I'm hoping he turned on a New Day or what happened.
So that's what you want. You want him to turn heel.
He didn't, did he?
No, he did. But okay. So let's go ahead and move on with that. So we're going to go ahead and move on with Raw. So Raw, obviously, as he was speaking about, Shayna and Nia going at it with each other. It didn't happen, no contest. Obviously, with the whole fine and suspension. So I'm going to ask you, Mr. Hero, do you see a potential match at SummerSlam? Nia versus Shayna Baszler?
I think they did exactly what they set out to do with this no contest. They're building up anticipation for it, and I think they're going about it the right way. We want to see that match. For me, I always enjoy seeing heel versus heel or face versus face. I'm getting the heel vibe from both of them. I'm all for it. Let them fight, and I want to see it at SummerSlam. It doesn't even have to involve the title at all. We've never really seen these two go at it or in a feud. So, yeah, sign me up, SummerSlam.
All right. What about you, Mr. Killer? You see Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax at SummerSlam?
I don't really care much for seeing that match. I don't know. Depends on how the feud's been built up, really. But I'm not interested at all. Even if they build the feud up best as they could, I ain't care to see that match, really. I don't really care for either one of them. I mean, Shayna's got some talent, but not Nia. Nah, fuck her.
I actually would have agreed with him before seeing what happened on Raw. You know, if you would have told me last week about this match, I would have been like, yeah, whatevs. But you know, I think that the no contest and the words that were exchanged between them at first, it kind of built my anticipation for this. You know.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing what's the outcome of it and see what they're gonna do with it. So that's the only thing that caught my attention on with them two. And then moving forward with that, obviously we saw what happened with Aleister Black. You know, being now written off of TV. Obviously, rumor in your windows going that Papa Vinny didn't have nothing for him, or Bruce or anybody in creative. So they wrote him off by doing this. You know, doing this eye for an eye again. Scene him getting injured by Buddy Murphy. And obviously he's out for a while. So, but there's speculations that Vince was not into the whole black, theme character, and so we might see a repackage of Aleister Black. Mr. Killer, I'm asking you, do you see that as a good move or a bad move that they did that? Should he repackage his character or should he just leave it the same?
I'd leave it the same. I like his gimmick. I like it with the way he comes up and the entrance and the candles and the music, the whole character. But it still feels like something is missing with him. You know, I don't know what it is, but I love that gimmick. I don't know. Maybe he does need to change. Maybe that's what it is. But I'm hoping it ain't because I like the gimmick.
Oh yeah, Mr. Hero, your thoughts about that?
Yeah, he took it in great minds think alike here because I always felt that something was missing with Aleister Black. You know, I feel like he was missing to be put with the right opponents. Maybe they should have started him up a little higher up in the card or something. But right off the bat, when he was, you know, sitting in this dark room, wondering who was going to fight him next or stuff like that, I would have wanted that instead of that, they would have given him a straight, you know, maybe even as a heel, him coming after somebody, you know, some real purpose instead of just sitting around waiting for a challenge. And so, you know, I think the character was kind of started off not in the best way, so it hasn't gone that way. I found it interesting that they used him in this storyline to write him off, because, you know, they're trying to get Buddy Murphy to be more of a threat, I guess you could say.
Right.
So, you know, it's interesting to see how Aleister will come back and maybe even go after Buddy Murphy there. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I agree because I agree, but I feel like he did not need the repackaging. He should have been more of a heel run. I think a heel run would have been better. How you said it, Mike. I think him going on knocking doors. I want to fight this person. Like him being like, how can I put it in? I'll put it in better terms. Like kind of like when Mankind started as a heel back in the 90s. Kind of like that. You see how he had the sadistic vignettes, Mankind with the rat and everything out. Like something like that. Like Aleister could have done differently and attack. He could have been main eventing against Drew McIntyre SummerSlam, you know, which we'll get into shortly. I mean, that would have been great. Or him feuding with Apollo Crews or him feuding with Ricochet. That would be another, you know, great match to see. So many potential matches he could have been as a heel. He could have just joined, obviously, Seth Rollins, you know, with them being the other Messiah, Dark Messiah, like his, you know, his right-hand man besides being Buddy Murphy. That could have been something else. So many creative ideas. So, Bruce, call us. If you need something, call us because we're right here and we know. And we listen and we, you know, watch everything. See. Okay? So, okay, let's go ahead and move on with that. So, moving on with that, obviously, we saw what happened with Dominic coming in, you know, beating the hell out of Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy. Right now, Rey Mysterio's contract is still up in the works. We don't know what's going to happen yet. But most likely he's going to stay. I think Dominic will stay. I mean, do we see? Like, I don't know. I'm going to ask you, Mr. Hero, but here before I even ask you, I'm lost in this one. What's going to happen with Dominic? Is he going to have his first match of SummerSlam, or is he going to join with Seth Rollins?
He's going to join Rollins. I already see it happening. Seth Rollins made the offer on Monday, you know, and I feel like it's been hinted at. The reason I feel like they're kind of waiting on to see what's going to happen with Rey Mysterio to see which road Dominic is going to take. So it really depends all on Rey to what happens to Dominic. But man, I would like to see him as a heel. I would like to see him what he can do in that role. There's so much he can learn from someone like Seth Rollins. The psychology in the ring and the storytelling. Seth Rollins is one of the top guys there, and he would definitely benefit from that. So we'll see what happens, and I definitely think Dominic is staying in WWE, and I'm sure that WWE would want him to be there. He's fresh, he's new, he has talent in his blood, so he's third generation superstar from my understanding, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So there you go. You got another Orton in your hands, so to speak.
Oh yeah, Mr. Killer, what are your thoughts?
I can't wait to see what they do with him either. I'm hoping that Ray. I don't want him to resign. I want him to go to AEW or somewhere. I want him to go to AEW. I'm not gonna lie, because he was a part of the first show they kind of put on. Not technically the first show, but All In.
Right.
I would like to see him back there. But I think though, what he's going to do is stay with his son, and I think that's where Dom should stay. The place where he started with Eddie Guerrero's storyline.
Yeah. Most definitely. I can't wait. Yeah, I'm with you guys on both. I can't wait to see what's going to happen later on. But let's go ahead and move on with that. Moving forward now, let's go ahead and move on with, obviously, with this disappointing match, which was Sasha versus, Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship. Obviously, we all knew the rules of how to, you lose by count out or pinfall or submission. Whoever the winner gets the belt, regardless of, how it ends. Great match, no matter what. I'm going to say that Asuka and Sasha, too, I'm not discrediting Sasha. She always puts a great match. I did like what she tried to do, that busted Eddie Guerrero throwing the belt. She got caught by the ref. Like, she got caught on. Got caught on with that. But the ending was horrible, obviously. This was like a goodbye to Kairi Singh, Bon Voyage, getting jumped in the back by Bayley. And Asuka had to decide to either save her or submit Sasha when he had her in the Asuka lock. She had to run over there, save her friend, and then the 10 count was done, and Sasha's new champ. I'm going to ask you, Mr. Hero, yes or no?
Yes. Yes, I'm all for it. It kind of helps. I mean, in the end, hopefully, Asuka ends up winning, and there's there's a happy ending to the storyline. But if it all depends on that, in the end game, right? Where yes, we saw Asuka go and try to defend her friend. She preferred helping her friend than the title itself, and that's kind of something that you expect from a hero. It helps people gravitate and cheer for this person. Because truth be told, Bayley and Sasha Banks have been pretty annoying, and they're doing their job as heels lately.
Yep.
They're doing
a perfect job.
Having somebody like Asuka be the hero and doing things that are heroic will definitely help this story. So, it'll help for sure.
Mr. Killer, thoughts?
Oh, man. Yeah, I agree with Mike on that one. But another thing is, like, when do you see this Sasha and Bayley thing splitting up? I'm glad they put the belts on, both women's titles on. They got the tag titles. They got it all right now. I'm glad that's happening. But I just wonder where it's going to start to unfold, where they start feuding with each other again. They're going to wait to save it to Mania. Could it go all the way that long? They might.
Maybe. Sure. Or either the Survivor Series, maybe, because we still got Survivor Series to go. You never know. There's so much. I didn't like it. The fact that is like, okay, Asuka's going to get revenge. She's going to get the belt back. She's going to have to get it back. Did not like how they exited Kairi Singh. That wasn't the right way to do it. I think it should have been a different way for her to say goodbye. At least have her win the belt for 2 seconds, for the at least the SmackDown or the Raw. I mean, the SmackDown Women's Championship right quick, and then let her drop her the following week. That would have been perfect to do.
So Carrie Sane's leaving, right?
She's gone now. Yeah, it's official. She put it on her Twitter. She put it on all her social media platforms that she is gone. She's moving to Japan. She's leaving good terms with WWE, but now she's going back to Japan and moving with her husband. And so, I mean, obviously we're going to miss her because I feel there was still a lot, which we did discuss previous episodes, which don't forget, watch the archives in the channel, ladies and gentlemen. So we did discuss about, Kyrie had a lot to offer still in the WWE, besides being a tag team with Asuka, could have been a singles run as well. But it's unfortunate that now she's gone, and we wish her the best. And I have a feeling that this is not the last time we're going to see her, but not in WWE ring though.
I feel like she'll be back too.
Yeah, but I don't think. I don't think WWE.
Carrie Sane will be back.
I don't think WWE.
I think she'll be back in WWE eventually.
Because she could go to AEW. She could go to Stardom, back in Japan in Stardom. She could go back to that, or Shimmer. There's a lot of things in Japan that are open up. So, I mean, we could see her back. You never know. Mr. Hero, do you see her back? Oh, it was like he froze.
Do you see Io Shirai? Like maybe after she loses the title or whatever in NXT, do you see her being called up to like be partners with Asuka since Carrie's leaving?
I see that. I actually wanted to see the trio. I wanted them to be a trio. Like I would.
Oh yeah, me too.
That would have been a great match between them versus Charlotte, Bayley, and Sasha. That would have been a great six-man. That's
another one they missed out on.
Papa Vinny, Papa Bruce. You heard it here first.
Did you text Bruce lately?
He's not responding.
He doesn't seem to be getting our ideas here, man.
He doesn't. I need to reach. I need to reach Conrad Thompson. I need to reach him out so he can go ahead and tell him. Conrad, you got to tell this guy to go ahead and actually, tell him we need him. He needs to hire us. Hire us. We could do really great shit for you. We'll give me good shit.
It'd be the best fucking booking they thought of. Either way, it'd be better than any shit they thought of. I can tell you that.
Yeah, definitely. I'm with you on that. I am with you on that. And now moving on with that, obviously we did see the Randy Orton challenging Drew McIntyre SummerSlam. We saw Drew McIntyre won against Dolph Ziggler, and then Randy Orton came out on RKO. Now, we know already right now the cards are coming up. We already see which, by the way, I forgot to mention, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, we see Andrade and AJ Garza versus the Street Profits at SummerSlam. We saw that we're seeing that coming, and now we're seeing Drew and Randy Orton. So, Mr. Killer, your thoughts about that main event, Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre?
I like it a hell of a lot better than Drew versus Ziggler. I can tell you that right now. Yeah, Orton versus Drew McIntyre, that should be good. Like, Randy's like already future headliner of the Hall of Fame, and I mean, with another loss to, with a win, another win over a big star like that, that's gonna fucking just make it better for Drew McIntyre. He done got that win over Brock at Mania, and now if he beats Randy Orton too, it's just gonna build him up more. And next needs to be John Cena.
Oh wow, that's a good one.
It's a big name there. Yeah.
That's good booking right there, man. Bruce, what are you doing? Jesus, Mr. Hero, your thoughts?
Man, it sucks to be Dolph Ziggler. Jeez Louise, it's like he was not even a threat whatsoever. It reminds me of the storyline back in 2002 where I think Jericho was the undisputed champion, and then everybody was going to The Rock like, hey, I want to challenge you at WrestleMania, kind of overlooking the champion. But here, everybody's overlooking Ziggler. Everybody's it's a bygone conclusion that he's going to get his butt kicked and 1, 2, 3, and, that's it. I don't know. I wish I could, ask Ziggler, hey, what do you think about all this, But he signed the contract, right?
Yeah.
But the Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton match, it's good for business in the way that it will definitely help Drew McIntyre go up the ladder. They need stars, and I feel like they're counting on Drew McIntyre to hold on to the championship and kind of lead the way during this pandemic era.
Right.
I am curious to see if this will be the main event or if Fiend versus Strowman will be the main event of SummerSlam. So
That's very true. You're absolutely right about that. And one thing about Ziggler, though, that I'm going to say, Ziggler does put good matches. I think his prime was when he won the World Heavyweight Championship as a heel against Del Rio, and even the time when he was at his prime in 2016 Survivor Series, when he was the last survivor that got rid of the Authority. I did enjoy this match with Dean Ambrose, John Moxley. I enjoyed that one. It wasn't bad. If anything, Ziggler should have been the Universal Champion instead of Strowman. Should have been him. It should have been me. It should have been me.
Yeah. Ziggler Mania running wild next year, right?
Yeah, hopefully.
It could happen.
He deserves one more push for the belt. Why not? And let him go.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. So, speaking of SummerSlam, ladies and gentlemen, I would actually want to get your thoughts as well. So I'm going to go with you, Mr. Killer. So now some speculations now that Papa Vinny is trying to not do SummerSlam in the PC, the Performance Center. He's trying to get outside of Florida. He's thinking about doing it at a beach, supposedly a boat. So we don't even know where this location is going to happen. But you think that them moving the location of SummerSlam is a great move, or they should keep it in the Performance Center? So what are your thoughts about SummerSlam being moved out of PC?
I hope to God it does. I do not want to see SummerSlam in the PC like we saw WrestleMania. The only things that was good at WrestleMania to me was the matches like with AJ Styles and Taker and stuff, and Orton and Edge was okay, but and Bray, I think But the other ones, SummerSlam does not need to be in an empty arena or with just it needs to be moved. Yeah, everybody's sick of the PC. It's gonna be empty anyway, but with the wrestlers around it, whatever. We just need a new location. I'm tired of seeing this every week. We turn on the Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and it's like always the same.
Yeah.
Switch it up. It's time to switch it up, especially for the big events like SummerSlam.
Well, where would you have it? Where would you put it, at the beach or in a boat?
Well, I don't know if they put it on the boat though. Like, is that not like? Well, they had the boat first with the whole Lex Luger thing, right?
But that wasn't that was the body slam one with Yokozuna. That was at a military base.
That's true.
That was at a military base.
I would rather have them have the ring on the boat. I'd rather do that.
Plus the Jericho Cruise. All right.
But if not, to be different from the Jericho Cruise, since AEW doing all that, maybe let's do it on the beach.
All right, Mr. Hero, what are your thoughts?
2 words: Fight Island.
Oh
yes. Papa Vinny, come on, hire us, man. We will lead you in the right direction.
Yes.
The UFC put on, I think, 3 events on an island, in a private island in Abu Dhabi. They have good connections with Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
I don't know if Saudi Arabia has any islands. Forgive my lack of geography there, but I'm sure they have the money to get some island or even some like a coast, a beach in Florida, and make something like this happen with palm trees and and once the sun goes down, like there's like tiki flames or whatever, all that good stuff. I would like to see that, something like that. It goes away from the whole PC thing. You don't need it to be cinematic. It's still, people will still tune in, and you'll make it look like what it's supposed to be, the biggest party of the summer. They advertise it as that. Why not actually make it that? So there you go, on a beach or in Fight Island or whatever. They got the resources. Make it happen.
That's right. You heard it here
when they did that commercial with Brock doing the F5 to the shark
Oh, yeah.
SummerSlam. We need to see some more vignettes and commercials like that to build it up too.
I love those. Even the one with Jonathan Coachman was, hey, the last hot dog. You see Mr. Wrestling Priest and Kane going. I love those vignettes. I love them. I miss them. Those were actually not bad vignettes. Even the one with Eugene with the top head. I love them.
Oh,
but, I agree with you both. But here's the problem, though. The thing is that Vince, what he wants to do, he wants to bring audiences. That's why he wants to do an outside location. He wants to bring a couple audiences, to watch the event, sell a couple tickets. But the problem is that obviously the stars, it's their concern. They could say, okay, some could say it's outside, it's not indoor, but they're still concerned about it. There's still some major concerns about this whole pandemic situation, and a lot of superstars are not going to be, very comfortable with that. So, that's really depending on the stars. So that's something that Papa Vinny should really consider, because you have a lot of people that are not performing for you right now because of this situation, because they're, health concerns and conditions. So that's something he should really consider. But obviously he's not, because, business is business, and it's his way or the highway. Papa Vinny, his way or the highway, which is unfortunate. So
what I would do, I would rent out or kind of sell tickets to pods, have like suite boxes. You know how they do that, and you have your group in this suite box or whatever. Have that, different pods in amongst the beach. You mic them up, you get their reactions, and boom, there you go. There's a ways around it, Vinny Mac. Call us. Papa Vinny, call us.
Oh, for sure. You know the number.
So moving on with that, obviously we did hear the announcement from Miro, formerly known as Rusev, announced on Twitch that he is no longer a professional wrestler. He hanged up the boots, and that was a shocker. I did not expect that. It was unexpected for him to actually hang up the boots. He wanted to be now a full Twitch player, creator, contact, and YouTube, YouTuber like us, here on the YouTube channel. So for the main podcast, don't forget to subscribe down below, ladies and gentlemen. So, Mr. Killer, your thoughts of, Miro hanging up the boots? You think that was a good move on his part, or bad for him to say he's done with wrestling?
Oh man, I think it's a bad move. He's still young. He's still got a lot of years to go. I mean, or he could be working us. He could show up at AEW sometime or anywhere else. I don't think he's done.
Okay. All right, Mr. Hero. Is he done, or is he serious?
I believe him. I actually do. I wouldn't be. I guess I would be surprised if I saw him challenge for the TNT Championship down the line. And I actually would like to see him in AEW or Impact or anywhere else. I think he's, like Josh said, he's still young, capable of putting on good matches. But I actually think he's done. He's really going for this Twitch thing, which I hear down, in the internets, that he got banned from Twitch. Is that the case?
Yes, he got banned. Rumor your window going that he got banned from Twitch.
I mean, if that was his main goal, to be a professional, gamer or whatever it is, content creator, getting banned from Twitch is probably not the best step. But I mean, best of luck to Rusev, and I actually watch his YouTube videos, so I'll support you. Rusev Day all day.
That's Rusev Day. Miro Day. I hope you come back and wrestle. I hope it's bullshit. I hope you do pop out of nowhere challenging Cody Rhodes for the TNT Championship, or pop out at Impact. I'm hoping he does. I don't think it's too soon for him to hang the boots as well. He got a lot of potential. He shows that. He showed it against Cena. He showed it throughout his whole career in WWE. I loved him. Great character. I think he should keep on going. I don't think he should stop. He should not keep, you have a lot to give to the audience and to pro wrestling fans. And believe me, him getting outside of WWE will get a better exposure for him, and be a better character within himself, and a better performer in the ring. I'm hoping Mr. Miro, you heard it here from us first. Come back. Please come back.
Please come back.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Miro. I
Mr. Miro.
called him that.
Speaking of the TNT Championship, so now it's already been discussed as well that the TNT Championship is now being updated. It should be finalized by August 12th. Cody Rhodes announced that on his Twitter, a couple days ago, and he did say it's not gold. It's still gonna stay the same. Just a little update. I think they're gonna add color into it. So I'm looking forward to seeing the belt, how it's gonna look. But him saying that it's gonna stay silver, and now adding color to it. So, Mr. Killer, what are your thoughts of putting that TNT Championship in color and silver?
Oh man, I can't wait to see when it's ready. When they do fix the title, I'm ready to see it. But yeah, what was the question again?
What was the do you see color? And because Cody said there's going to be color in the belt, so it's going to be silver and color. I don't know what kind of color he's going to add to it. So you think that's I don't know what he's going to do with it.
I don't know. I think it was going to add like the colors, like of the TNT logo and stuff, like to be in there.
Mm-hmm.
Which is what? I can't even picture it. Is it yellow in it?
I think it's gonna go like yellow, black, and what is it? I forgot. There's silver, I believe so. It's tough. I don't know what they're gonna go with that.
Either way, I think they'll make it look good because the other two belts look good. The only thing's wrong with the women's title. The other three belts look good.
Oh yeah.
Especially the world title. That's a beautiful fucking title. And the tag titles. The only thing wrong with the women's title is too small. Yeah. It's like a damn ring that goes with your fucking finger. But yeah, I think once they get it done and they get it fixed, it's gonna look fucking good too.
Oh yeah, definitely. Mr. Hero, what are your thoughts? Were you looking forward to seeing color to that belt?
Yeah, I'm all for it. I'm a big belt fan. I like seeing the different designs and whatnot. I'm curious if they're going to keep the strap color or if they're going to change that up based on the colors that are going to be added. So, I'm interested in seeing that and maybe even getting a replica or something like that down the line. But,
Absolutely.
Yeah, especially the AEW World title. I want a replica of that. But, the TNT, honestly, I'm used to seeing it in its current version. But any changes are welcome. I feel it'll enhance the look, which is what they're going for.
Absolutely. And one more last pro wrestling news, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, actually two more. So I'll make it right quick. Right now is speculation is going around, which I don't know. I think it's bullshit, but it's supposedly that Tessa Blanchard is holding the Impact Championship hostage. That since obviously we saw Eddie Edwards winning the Impact Championship as the anniversary. The belt that he has is only a replica one. It's not the legit one that Tesla has. So right now there's legal battles between Impact and Tesla. Rumor your window saying she wants $150,000 for that belt. You want your belt back? Give me $150,000. She's holding it for ransom. So I don't know. I think does it look bad on her if it is true? I mean, this is only this if it is true, not rumor your window, but we're just giving our opinions once again, ladies and gentlemen. So if it is true, well, do you feel it's a great move or a bad move on her part? Mr. Hero. I'm sorry, Mr. Killer. Sorry.
It's a bad move on her part. She's holding the championship hostage?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why? What does she think she's doing? Like, I mean, she's not working for the company anymore. So basically, ain't that theft?
Yeah.
She can't do that.
Yep.
She can, but she get in trouble, right?
Yeah. Exactly. I don't mean she could. Yeah, she could go get in trouble. She. I mean, Don Callis. You could hire Mr. P. New. Stephen P. New. Stephen P. New. Just hit up Jim Cornette. He'll tell you. Mr. Hero, you think that's a great, and bad move on her part? Like
terrible,
right?
What are you thinking? Oh my goodness, no. You're gonna have companies look at this and okay, and this is a if this is happening. Man, if I saw somebody do that to somebody else, I would not want to hire this person, much less make them a champion and give them one of my titles. No, it looks bad, and this rumor has to be coming from somewhere. So if it's not happening that way, it's happening in maybe another version of this. But either way, no, I think this is a terrible move. 150,000. I think that's a bit much, even for a belt. From what I've heard, belts usually cost like at most 50 grand to make. I know the UFC BMF title cost 50,000 to make, and it's one of one for that one. So I don't know how exclusive their real belts are in Impact, but yeah, I think I choose to believe that this is kind of exaggerated, but an exaggerated truth. So I don't know. In my opinion, it's a bad move.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you both on that. Like, that's ridiculous if it is true. I mean, it's only a rumor window, but if it is true. But if they are going through legal battles of that, I mean, just give them the belt back for what? It looks bad on you, Tessa. Like, you're stuck in Mexico. Just FedEx, overnight, UPS. Get it away from you. Be in good terms, because you want organizations to look at you in good terms. Imagine the AEW would have hired you. You think they would have want that and make you the main champion? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Hell no.
That's why I think WWE is going to bury her if she goes over there. They're seeing this sort of thing.
She will get buried. She will get definitely buried in NXT. They'll bury her. That's a damn fact. She will. But we'll see. We'll see what happens on that. And now the last one of the topic that was surrounding the wrestling world, which I don't think it caught a lot of people attention, because obviously they're big fans of Excalibur, which obviously Excalibur saying the N-word. This is like back in PWG, which is he's the co-owner of it. Back in, I believe, in the 2000s. I think maybe like close to like 2010. I'm not quite sure what year was it. Mike, if you could refresh on that, because I don't remember what year it was.
I'm not too sure either.
Okay, but it was with him and Kevin Owens when Excalibur wasn't active on his organization, and it was a gimmick. Excalibur called this guy Filipino and the N-word, and the crowd was like, oh, So then and then obviously supposedly you hear Kevin Owens, but I don't know. I mean, I heard it. Does it almost sound like Kevin Owens too? But no. But Excalibur saying it, and I see social media platforms try to push it, like, oh, Excalibur used the N-word, and now they're trying to get him in trouble. For me, honestly, just before I even ask you guys, I'm going to give you guys my opinion first. For me, it was just more that was back then. That was like way, way long time ago when that was actually allowed. Remind you, New Jack said it too, and other people as well have said it as well and used that gimmick. Why are we going to go back to something that it doesn't – is what's currently happening now, because he's retired in the ring, and this is what he was in the ring, and that was based on characterization. It is not based on reality, because we don't know this. I mean, if it was based on reality, we would have seen it by now. All over Excalibur's social media, or like his ways towards African Americans or other races, we would see that. But whoever obviously brought that up to the social media platform to try to get Excalibur in trouble, I'm sorry, I'm not with that. That was like buried a long time ago. It was kind of like when they were trying to when NWA fired Jim Cornette over what he said, which I forgot what was it, that he said something back in 1995, I believe. So he said it on an episode on Raw, and he said it on an episode of NWA, and they fired him because of that bullshit. I mean, come on, people are too sensitive nowadays. So I mean, your thoughts, Mr. Hero? I mean, him saying that, what were your thoughts about that?
It's a very sensitive topic. It's a very sensitive word to use. Even back then, I think I kind of wonder why it didn't blow up at that time. And yes, I understand they were trying to get a heel heat, and it was part of the storyline and this and that. But different people take different things in different ways, or they're sensitive in different ways. Me, if I was in that crowd and I heard that, okay, he said it, not me, right? Or all that stuff. But man, it's tough, because why would you punish someone for something that they did 10 years ago? It's happened. It's happened in Hollywood. It's happened in all these different places. I wonder if that is why Excalibur wasn't commentating on AEW on Dynamite this past Wednesday, because I think this came out or was resurfaced before Dynamite. But man, yeah, you know, people are looking back in their records and going back on tapes, trying to find dirt on people now to get them fired or consequences or suspensions without pay. It's crazy. It's crazy out there. So, you know, I would hide everything, hide your tapes and hide your pictures and everything, you know, so that way, you know, nothing comes out.
Make sure you don't want nothing exposed, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Killer, what are your thoughts about this situation?
I'm sick of it, man. I'm sick of it. People that done stuff a long, long time ago, and it comes back to the surface, and they got to get judged for it. Just leave the shit in the past. Just because somebody done something bad in the past doesn't mean they're the same person that they was back then. Everybody changes and learns from their mistakes. That's the whole point of making mistakes, to learn from them and grow from them and to become a better person. So I don't think that he's the same person anymore. And, he should be judged for it. And anybody that judges him for it is wrong.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I'm with you both on that because it's ridiculous. Why are these people trying to do that? Look what you did with Sammy Guevara. Now he came back all of a sudden. I'm telling you, like, this type of shit, like, honestly, they call us, which, not to say who calls us, but they call us marks because we give our opinions about pro wrestling. Like, no, we're the fans. We pay tickets to see the show. And we're going to give our critique about it, what we feel about it in and outside the ring. Now, these are marks that are actually putting these type of, exposing videos. Oh, he said this, or he did that, or she said this, he did that. It's ridiculous. Why are you trying to ruin other people's career just because you're living in your mom's basement and you got nothing else to fucking do but to jerk off and whatever the hell you're doing? Fucking, those are the real marks. Those are the real fucking marks right there. People that expose other people's careers on, what happened in past careers and try to tarnish their current careers is ridiculous. People grow the fuck up, man. This is no longer like, grow up, man. That's all I can say. This is, come on, ridiculous. This is ridiculous. This just should not be happening at all. And hopefully this does not affect Excalibur's, commented career. And if it does, then whoever put that video up, you're a dumbass. You're a fucking asshole. You just, you fucked up another person's career just because you wanted to get Mr. Famous and put it out there. Ridiculous. Pisses me off. It really does. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. So we're going to go ahead, and then from there, after we come back from the break, we're going to go ahead and discuss about, obviously, a little bit what happened in Impact and a little bit what happened in NXT and obviously on AEW Dynamite as well. So we'll be right back. Don't go away.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
No way. Shit. I'd rather listen in a circle of debate.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Circle of Debate podcast. Once again, we thank the captain for everything he's done. Cheers to you, Captain. Cheers. So moving on, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and move on with just a little glimpse of Impact. Obviously, my both co-hosts have not positively seen much of Impact. We also just saw the debut of the Good Brothers match when they beat Reno and Scum, the first match in Impact. That was a great match. And they fought off with Ace Austin and his big guy. I forgot his name. I'm barely getting into Impact. My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. It's just been a while for me. That as well. And then we see now an upcoming feud with Sami Callihan feuding with RVD, as we saw that little segment. Katie Forbes showing her new bikini swimsuit pictures, and then Sami Callihan putting his face on her face. RVD getting pissed off, and so obviously we're looking forward to see Sami Callihan and RVD. I'm looking forward to see that. And also, we see Eric Young now being the first one feuding with Eddie Edwards for the Impact, championship. So we're looking a lot to see coming up, and I'm looking forward. And I'm also looking forward to see what the tag team division, now that the Motor City Machine Guns are the tag team, Impact tag team champions. So right now, Impact is very intriguing. And then the other last thing as well in Impact, what happened is Tommy Dreamer hosting Wrestle House. Like, everybody thought it was a House Hardcore, but no, it's just like like a Wrestle House having Tyler Valkyrie, Kylie Ray, Rosemary, Ace Romero, everybody else that was there. So just, people that, watch that, viewers, watch it on YouTube, and it's interesting. Impact is getting there little by little. So I'm looking forward to see what they're gonna do. Moving on now with these, and also waiting for the debut for Brian Myers, aka formerly known as Kurt Hawkins. So I'm looking forward to see his debut in the singles run as well. So now moving with NXT. The only thing intriguing that got me in NXT was the triple threat match: Dexter Lumis versus Finn Balor versus Timothy Thatcher for the spot of which now was announced as a 5-way ladder match for the North American Championship at NXT Takeover. Another interesting win: Dexter Lumis winning, submitting Timothy Thatcher, as Thatcher had Finn Balor in a leg lock, but it was too late. Thatcher passed out. Lumis won the match. So I'm very interested. So, Mr. Hero, were you surprised that Mr. Lumis won? How about the triple threat match and advanced?
Surprised a little bit, yeah. I had Finn Balor winning the match, that's what I thought was going to happen. But yeah, Dexter Lumis, I actually liked that finish. I think it was pretty well done. Lumis, let's see how he does. And you say it's going to be a ladder match for the North American title?
5-way.
Cool.
5-way.
5-way. Yeah, I mean.
So far we have Bronson Reed and we have Dexter Lumis now.
Interesting. Kind of almost starts to remind me of a Money in the Bank match where you have multiple people there climbing ladders. But yeah, I mean, NXT is making things interesting with their titles. I like that it just wasn't a one-on-one to see who the new champion was going to be. I like this idea of a 5-way ladder match. Good job. And they're trying some new people out here, so I'm all for it.
All right, Mr. Killer, your thoughts that Dexter Lumis is now part of the Fatal 5-way?
I like it. I like his gimmick. I like the stalker gimmick. What do he call it? He called the creepy bastard in Impact.
I believe so. It was. It was like a creepy.
So I want to see where it goes. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to that too. I'm looking forward to see, and I'm kind of glad that NXT is actually pushing these potential stars. Like finally, Bronson Reed was another one that was a shocker, beating Gargano and Roderick Strong, and now Lumis beating, Finn Balor out of all people, and Timothy Thatcher, two of the top greatest stars, in our industry. So good for Dexter, and I'm glad to see him now moving up, and hopefully, you never know, he might be our next North American champion. We have to wait and see who are the next 3 finalists who is going to be joining them in that Fatal 5-way at NXT TakeOver. And so moving on with that, we saw with Keith Lee calling out, Karrion Kross. Anytime, any place, I'll whip your ass. So obviously, we're gonna see this in NXT Takeover. That's the most likely. So once again, I think we discussed it prior before. Don't forget to look at our archives on our YouTube channel, ladies and gentlemen. We did discuss prior before that too soon for Karrion Kross to go ahead and get the belt, but it could be that he might lose his first match against Keith Lee. So let me ask you, Mr. Killer, do you think, how we said it before, that it was too soon for him to get the title shot, but do you see Karrion Kross winning or losing?
Oh, man. I'm hoping that Killer Kross wins, actually. I'm ready to see that matchup right there because, the promo right there when Keith Lee was in the ring, he looked like he meant business right there. And then you got Killer Kross coming out on the screen after Scarlett come out. And he just he's the time's counting down on Keith Lee, and he's going to take that title, man. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that. I'm hoping that he does take that championship. It'd be a short reign for Keith Lee, but I just want to see. I think Keith Lee, he has the championship. Let's move him on to the main roster. He doesn't need a long title reign. Let's put it on Killer Kross. I should have said Karrion Kross.
I love Killer Kross. I think that one best. Yeah, still as a habit that we still have Killer Kross no matter what. I love it, but I'm with you on that. I think I'm with you. But Mr. Hero, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think a short title reign for Lee is not going to hurt him. I think that he's, especially with everything that happened at Survivor Series and the Royal Rumble, he's been established as one of the new guys that is going to be, the top guys. and somebody that they're going to really trust to push in the main roster. I think he is ready for main roster. He went toe to toe with Brock Lesnar, in the Royal Rumble. I mean, this guy, he can go to the main roster. They have my permission. Go ahead, make it happen.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here first. His permission, all right.
Permission granted.
Permission granted
to the main roster. And Karrion Kross, he just got there. He could be the face of NXT for a few years. There's so many fresh feuds that he could be a part of. And oh my goodness, what is this? We have Mr. MGC. Yeah. But yeah, Karrion Kross. Oh wow. Yeah, talent right there.
Tanahashi.
Play Nakamura's theme song.
Yeah, he brought it right there.
There you go.
Yeah. Here we go. Exclusive.
There you go.
All right.
You got the New Japan theme.
There you go. I got the New Japan theme. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. MGC, Matthew Cartejala. Thank you for joining us, Matt. How are you, brother?
What's up, guys? I'm guessing, did you guys go over Sengoku Lord? And
No, we're not as of yet. So actually, we'll welcome to joining in with that. So we're gonna start off with you. So give us your thoughts about Sengoku Lord and let the audience know what happened.
Well, so Sengoku Lord, I think I might start off from just so I could get my immediate thoughts out of the way of the main event. So it was I think I mainly paid attention to what went on in the main event. I think the other two was Yujiro versus Okada was the third up, and that event that elevated Yujiro back to where he used to be when he was tag teaming with Naito, and No Limit. So it just shows how good Yujiro is. Under, maybe they might give him a different gimmick, new coat of paint is what they've said on a few other ones. And then the other one coming up was, I think we talked about the tag title change that happened on a different night for a different, none of the other titles changed, but the heavyweight match between Hiromu Takahashi and Evil, very well. I think Hiromu said that he didn't want anybody running in on the match. He said he wanted to face Bullet Club by himself just to prove himself, and stuff like that. So he wanted them to honor that. That's why there wasn't really any run-ins. But Evil retained, and then Naito and Evil are going to have a rematch coming up. So there's that for Sengoku Lord.
Yep.
And I'm guessing you guys covered Dynamite. Did you guys?
Not yet. We're about to cover. We're about to cover right now. Now, before we do, I just want to go ahead and say yes. It was a great match between Hiromu and Evil. Evil obviously with the win, and now Naito saying that the rent time is over. You had it for a long time. Yeah, you had it for a short rental time. Now the rent is done, so he wants his title back. The rent's up. So there you go. And also we have Taji Ishimori challenging also Hiromu for the Junior Heavyweight Championship as well. Looking forward to that. Bone Soldier is ready. Looking forward for that. And also, obviously, we see Tai Chi and Zack Zombie calling out aces. The Golden Aces. Come on, a rematch. You want it, you got it. So we were looking forward to seeing that. And also, Hiromu did get injured. It is not a serious injury. It's only just a minor tweak in the shoulder. He missed a couple of events on the Summer League event. But he's going to defend the title against Taiji Ishimori, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. So stay tuned with that, ladies and gentlemen, viewers, of looking more into New Japan. So they have a lot to offer. And yes, Luigi versus Okada was a great one. I think it's a great build-up for him. He needed that. It's been a long time since him being just a not even a mid-card guy. He was just, where was he? It's been years that he hasn't been involved in this type of storyline. So I'm glad to see him back in the picture since, when he was a tag with Naito. I agree with you 100% on that. So moving forward now, let's go ahead and move on with Dynamite, ladies and gentlemen. I love it. Before we do, just to give everybody, the fans, who obviously you guys know, the viewership obviously was NXT 707,000, AEW 773,000. So, of course, another win for AEW on the ratings, obviously, for this week. And Now with NXT, yep, there you go. Golf clap, ladies and gentlemen. Golf clap. Obviously, now the opening match, Best Friends and Friends versus the Inner Circle. I loved it. I enjoyed every part of that match. So, I'm going to go ahead and ask Mr. MGC, what were your thoughts about that opening match? Was it great or not so
I only caught parts of it though, but like anytime Luchasaurus steps into the ring, it's always, really exciting to see him perform. You get to see a big guy doing, shooting star press, moonsaults, power bombs, and choke slams. It's so rare that you get to see all of those things in one person. So it's really cool. And in addition to that, martial arts kicks, to top it off. No offense to those that love the Luchasaurus gimmick, but like I'm just imagining what it's like once he changes gimmick. Like I already see a future champion there. That's a must be.
Wow.
That would be probably one of the most exciting champions to watch on TV. Would be Luchasaurus in like the near future, maybe like 2 years from now, or a year and a half. I'll put it that soon.
All right, Mr. Killer, what were your thoughts about the opening match?
Man, I love that fucking kick Luchasaurus done at the fucking end, man. Just bam, right to
All right, Sammy.
Right to Sammy. Yeah, and then fucking Matt Hardy. So Matt Hardy's feuding with Sammy right now.
Yeah, because you remember, right? Well, before Sammy was gone, remember that was going to be the feud. It was supposed to be Matt Hardy and Sammy Guevara, but they had to put it on hold because Sammy with the whole scandal situation. So now they're bringing it back. So I mean, I don't mind it, but I mean, it was, let me know. Was it other than that? What else did you enjoy? The opening match, was it great? Everything?
Yeah, I loved it. Best friends though, I just can't stand them, man. I can't take it. I can't take it. And then Jurassic Express, man, got to get rid of fucking Marco stuff. Man. Got to.
Mr. Hero, what are your thoughts about the opening match?
Yeah, I'm split with Marco Stunt there with my opinion there. There's sometimes where I like what he does, and sometimes that I could do without that. But man, we almost got to see Luchasaurus without the mask.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no, Luchasaurus definitely to me stands out. I agree with MGC that we could potentially have a future champion there. As for the match itself, I believe it was Tornado Tag. Was it? Was it meant to be Tornado Tag? No.
Oh no. The thing that was
later on.
That was later on.
Okay, yes. Okay. Yeah. But this one had it had a lot of fast pace going. There, you could feel almost kind of like a climax in this match where things were starting to kind of pick up, and I really enjoyed that part of the match. Everybody was hitting awesome moves to each other, and then of course Matt Hardy's involvement. I'm curious to see where that storyline goes. That's my biggest takeaway from the match, because yes, they held off for I think almost a month with the whole Sammy Guevara thing, but they're picking up right where they left off. So let's see if it's worth the wait to see where this storyline goes and what happens next between those two.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward too. I'm with you guys on that. I mean, Luchasaurus being a future world champion, maybe. That's like a big maybe for me, honestly. I think he's still, don't get me wrong, his in-ring skills ability improved. I'm a big fan of Luchasaurus. I followed him his career when he was in bar wrestling and in Maverick Pro Wrestling as Luchasaurus. Then he went to Ring of Honor. Actually, if Luchasaurus, if you watch this, I don't know if you remember, I passed you a beer, and I could hear, he's like, oh, it's for me? Yeah, man, here, take it. And then you ended up taking the wrong beer. You took the half-empty one. And I was trying to give you the full one, but you walked off quick. And you're like, dude, you gave me a half beer. No, I was trying to give you a full beer. And then when we ran into the restroom, I told you congratulations when you signed with ROH when the first, we went to Ring of Honor, and I was really happy for you that you went there. And I mean,
it's a funny story. It's good, guys.
Right? I hope you hear it, Luchasaurus. Just don't forget you remember me. Remember this face. Let's
kick it after Rona if you're listening, bro.
That's right. I will not mind interviewing you, Luchasaurus. I'm a big fan of your work. You know, I'm always been a big fan of your work. But moving on, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and move on now with I believe it was, correct me if I'm wrong here, ladies and gentlemen. Was it the TNT or was it the tag team belts that was after? That's what I'm trying to remember.
I think.
The TNT. Yeah, right. Okay, yeah, TNT, which we finally saw the debut of Warhorse, by the way. Warhorse is, very known in the independent scene, especially with game-changing
wrestling. First time I ever saw him.
He's been in the independent scene for a while.
I like those patches that he had there. He had Slayer, Venom, Kiss. So thumbs up on that extra.
He's got a heavy metal gimmick.
Yeah.
Do you
Kind
guys
of reminded me of a fucking dollar store version of the Ultimate Warrior.
I was about to ask you guys that same question, Josh.
Yep.
Do you guys think that because the way the head shaking, because often Cornette would like to usually criticizes Kenny Omega and says he resembles the Ultimate Warrior with the head shaking. But I'd say Warhorse is way more like the Ultimate Warrior. Like the face paint, the head shaking, the energy, that kind of, But Warhorse is he's a much better promo though, and of course a much better worker. He loves the business. I no diss to Ultimate Warrior's memory, but he wasn't really, he didn't. From what I heard, he didn't really like being a wrestler. Like he was kind of there was like a side of it saying that he was like there for the money or something like that. I don't know. That's just what I heard.
Yep. Just well, I mean, that's everybody has.
I like the heavy metal stuff, so
yeah.
Thumbs up on that.
Warhorse loves this business, and
that's
another future like big star. I almost thought he was going to take the TNT title that night. That would have been actually a pretty cool like upset to have, especially since he's such a big underground hero.
Yeah, it was a great match.
But there was another surprise there.
Exactly, ladies and gentlemen, the surprise, of course, finally the debut of Woo 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 Woo. One of my favorites, of course, and I do watch your podcast. I do listen to your podcast. I do watch Make Your Figure, wrestling podcast, and I'm a big fan because of you, of getting my pro wrestling toys back again because of you. Mr. Matt Cardona made his debut at AEW. Finally, we've been waiting for this for a long time. He's been dying, and we all golf clap, But I was happy that he finally made his debut on AEW, and everybody kind of expected it because he's best friends with Cody Rhodes, and because Chelsea and Brandy are good friends as well. So I'm gonna get your thoughts, Mr. Killer, of Matt Cardona debuting. Do you love it or you hate it?
I love it. He's finally where he fucking needs to be. We've been seeing this shit build up and play out for fucking year now. Where Zack Ryder and Cody kind of had this back and forth exchange on Twitter, where kind of hitting that he might come over there. You remember where Cody said something about when he was out in the when Ryder was out in the ring in WWE before, and the crowd was chanting for him. Or no, The Rock was out there, right? The Rock, of all people, and they was chanting for Zack Ryder. And he said that you could be a main eventer again, or WWE, they dropped the ball with him when he was over. I don't get it why they do that to guys that are over with the crowd. Just because they don't want to be over, they just bring them back down.
Mr. Hero, what are your thoughts?
Oh, I love this. This is great. I never understood why WWE never backed this guy up. They gave him the I never learned why they gave him the Intercontinental Championship and took it away right away.
24 hours later. Not even 24 hours, less than that.
It's insane. I never understood why the whole, wheelchair thing, all that stuff. But, I was there. I saw from the very first episode of.
He froze.
He froze. He'll be right back.
So, well, Ivan, I didn't know he had a podcast though, and this is gonna be a big deal because AEW has a very podcasty crowd because of Jericho and everybody else, and now because of this is gonna be another AEW podcast to listen to. Another. Well, how many people on the AEW roster have a podcast?
Vicky,
Jericho.
A lot of them.
A lot of
AEW themselves.
Yeah, the AEW podcast, and now we have Does Zack Ryder, JR, of course, we have his podcast. Does
Have
Zack
got
Ryder
one, you
have
said?
guests on his podcast usually, or is
Yeah.
it just him?
Yeah,
So-
it's him and Brian Myers, aka Kurt Hawkins. They do
And-
the Major Figure Wrestling podcast where they talk about wrestling figures, obviously where it was produced, if it's reproduction. They
Do most episodes have guests, or is it mainly
yes,
just
most guests they do have. The last one, I believe they. I don't know who they had the last one. I think it was Bully Ray. I don't remember, but they had different various guests. They had obviously Hornswoggle. They had him, and he's part of the crew. They had different guests before. They had.
I gotta let Mike continue with what he was saying.
Go ahead, Mr. Hero.
Yes. Long story short, I was there from the start of the show of Zilu Chulang on his Island Story, and I've always wondered why not Zack Ryder. And yes, absolutely. Or there you go, LI, Long Island. I've been to Long Island. It's a nice place. But yeah, strap the rocket on this guy, send him to the moon. He's got a lot of catching up to do. So much potential, and I've actually met him and his dad when I went to Access, and really nice guys. So I'll buy his shirt and all that good stuff to support Zack Ryder.
That's right,
Or Matt Cardona.
Matt Cardona. That's right. I
Matt
agree.
Cardona. Y'all think that Brian Myers will show up there too?
No, he's an Impact, so he's stuck in Impact.
Yeah.
Because what happened was that they both decided to go singles to different companies.
Okay.
So Brian, since he was already known to be an Impact prior before, he was an ex tag team champion. I forgot with who. I don't not recall, but yeah, he was a former Impact tag team champion for TNA at the time. Yeah. So this is the first time Matt Cardona's gone to a different organization, and I'm looking forward finally for a single run. I do agree with Mike. I do agree with you, Josh. I'm with you 100%. Vince McMahon. Papa Vinny, you dropped the fucking ball on this guy. He was hot, I believe, in 2016, I believe, or before that? 2011. There you go. My apologies. 2011, you're right. 2011.
They should have took the Intercontinental title off of him.
They should even
WrestleMania.
He didn't even hold the U.S. belt as long either when he was the United States champion. When he feuded with Dolph Ziggler for the U.S. championship as well. Even the time when he had his highlight at WrestleMania twice. He had his highlight. One by himself. Him winning the ladder match. Everybody thought Sammy was going to win it. At WrestleMania 32, I remember Sammy was like, "Yep, this is Sammy's time for him to win the IC belt," but it didn't happen. It turned out it was. Remind you can bet on this, ladies and gentlemen. Even though everything is, everything's already predicted who's going to win, but things could change. Yes, thank you. Predetermined. Mm-hmm. But now they could change in an instant. They could change quickly, and the bets are. And Matt Cardona was the underdog on that, and whoever bet on him at WrestleMania 32 won money. So that was unexpected. So great moment for him.
I really want to say about Matt Cardona, like two things. At the beginning of AEW, I thought it was too babyface heavy. Like there was way more baby faces at the beginning, like around the time of Double or Nothing. And then just more people started turning heel and more people started making debuts. And now at this moment in time, now I kind of think it's a little bit more heel heavy. I think there's just enough heels. There's a good amount. But now like Matt Cardona is kind of like that baby face that we kind of need like behind Cody. He's kind of like in a good like mid-level baby face to get higher on the card, gradually as time goes on. Because that's originally what I thought they were going to do with Shawn Spears before they turned him heel. So Cardona is going to be. The other thing is like no diss to the name, like it's a good like to his mom and his family, but like Matt Cardona doesn't really sound like that catchy. So I don't know if he'd change the name or just like stick with it. I guess we gotta get used to it, because Zack Ryder's very like snappy and and I love his finisher too though. The finisher was really cool. It's like a leg drop, but like you jump on them like a reverse Hurricane Rana, except like forward.
Like a famouser.
Yes,
yeah, famouser. Yeah,
I was gonna say that it's like a front face famouser, a jumping famouser. So yeah, I agree with you on that. But Matt Cardona, we don't know yet. This is barely his debut. We'll see if he's going to keep the name, change it.
It sounds like my name.
I would have rather Matt Cartagena instead. That would have been more catchy.
It sounds like my name. Just like, and there's 3 Matts in that color. You got Matt Jackson, who's really Matt Massey, and then you got Matt Hardy. So we got 3 Matts in there.
I'm looking forward to see. Well, we got the 3 Matts. But, I'm looking forward to see what's going to happen with him in the future of AEW. You never know. Never say never. I'm saying it here first that he might turn heel on Cody Rhodes next week when they team up. He might turn heel and go for the TNT Championship. You never know. It might happen. I'm calling it out first. He would be an interesting
member of the Elite, though, too. He would be kind of it would be kind of fun to have somebody like him in there.
No, they'll clown him.
Nightmare family.
They'll clown him. They'll clown him. But believe me, because of his toy collecting, they'll clown him with that. Action figures collecting. Which there's nothing wrong with that, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. If you collect action figures, so do I. So never be ashamed of that, regardless of the age.
No. They're all kind of nerds though, because Kenny Omega's a video game guy and anime guy,
which is fine.
Everybody's proud nerds. Like AEW is a nerd company, baby.
Yes, even Cody's idea. You know what? It was Cody, and it's supposed to be Cody and Matt Cardona doing the podcast about toy figures, but Cody left the company, and obviously, Brian Myers was another part of it. So he ended up getting Brian Myers to do it together. It was supposed to be
now he could do it with Cody again. Now that he's they got the time.
And shout out to Cody's shirt that he was wearing. He was wearing the Street Fighter and AEW collaboration shirt.
I love it. Yes, I love it.
That was a cool shirt.
That was a cool shirt. Can't wait to buy it. ProWrestlingTees.com or AEWShop.com. We're not asking for money. Okay, we're just doing it because we love you guys.
That'd be cool though if you did. Just
hook us up.
Recognition at least. Put us on AEW. Oh, listen to Circle Debate. You never know. And moving on with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and move on with the Kenny Omega and Adam Page versus the Dark Order. The Dark Order was not, you know what? I'm going to go first on this, Not a bad match. It was great. I like Stu Grayson doing that nice, perfect 450 splash. I haven't seen a nice, perfect 450 splash in a long time. And that was actually perfect. I loved it. I enjoyed it. The match was great. Obviously, we saw what happened in the aftermath. Obviously, Mr. Brody Lee came out and got his people around. And then FTR hit him with, with the case. They've been Brody Lee. And then they all came and made the rescue, blah, blah, blah. And I don't know where this is gonna go to, but I don't know. It's too much. It's teasing too much. But
I gotta say, Evil Uno. This is the most agile I've seen Evil Uno. I didn't know he could move like that.
Oh yeah. Big. He can move, and also, as a matter of fact, he lost a little bit of weight because
I've seen that. I saw that.
He lost weight. He lost weight. I could tell, but because
of the pandemic.
Yeah, and I think he needed to lose that weight anyways because he was pretty heavy. Even when he was the Super Smash Brothers and during the indie scene with him and Stu Grayson. Grayson looks great no matter what. He's a great professional wrestler. The same with Evil Uno. I'm not going to hate on him. He's great for a big guy and agile in the ring. Love him. The gimmick so far is just not. It's just not feeling it. I'm not feeling the gimmick. I just can't feel it. I've tried to, but I cannot feel the gimmick. So I'm gonna go with you, Mr. Hero. What were your thoughts about the tag team championship match?
It was a fun match. It was cool. I just I didn't get the sense that the Dark Order was the number one contenders for the AEW championship or the tag team championship. I didn't get that sense.
Hell no.
They weren't. They haven't been booked that way, I feel. I know that they're trying to get this rivalry going between them, and especially with Brody Lee, just really going after them, sending everybody against them, but ultimately failing again. I think this second week in a row that this happens. And I want to see what happens with Colt Cabana. He's been around there, and they have Anna Jay there
hilarious. Too. The
commentary. Oh yeah, the commentary was fun.
Also, like Cole Cabana was like, "Oh yeah, they're great guys, Dark Order. I'm not a member, but they're great guys." I'm like, what?
He kept correcting himself and stuff. But yeah, a fun match. Hangman and Omega always bring it, and the Dark Order.
The Dork Order. Might as well say the Dork Order.
There needs to be more to it. I feel like okay, let's put the. I mean, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Let's put the tag team titles maybe on Lee and Evil Uno. Let's see what happens. Kind of let's try to make this thing work instead of just
I agree. Like if you want to make that heel faction more legitimate, you know, especially for newer names, then those people like that definitely do need the belt for baby faces to chase after.
Yeah. Okay. And it'll make his recruitment more convincing.
Yeah, man. I like it. Mr. Killer, your thoughts?
Ah, man. Oh, what was the question again?
About just
the Dark Order.
The Dark Order
Kenny
versus
Omega.
Yeah, my mic cut out.
Hangman Page.
Yeah, the Dark Order, man. I don't like that whole thing at all. With I don't even want to see the Dark Order on my TV with Hangman Page or nothing like that. Fuck that. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Cornette calls him Pizzeria Uno.
Yeah, Pizzeria Uno, man. He gets what he calls them.
I've never been there, by the way. That's a real pizzeria?
It used to be numero uno.
Yeah, I've never been there.
It doesn't exist anymore?
I think there's still the one on Wilshire and Highland. I think that one's still there.
In Los Angeles.
Yes.
I'm gonna go and see if I still come out okay. Well, you watch and there's a Dark Order guy behind the counter. They're like this. Can I take your order? And he's wearing the mask.
He's wearing a mask. All right, moving on with that, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and move on. Actually, finally, I'm seeing something that AEW is doing different, but I'm kind of skeptical. So I'm going to get your thoughts. So, Mr. Killer, I'm going to ask you first before. So this is the question. Question is this. Now AEW is doing a women's tag team cup tournament. The rules, how it works is obviously you draw the same, each individual woman draw a color. If the other women match with the same color, they are a tag team, and that's finalized. We saw that already with Nyla Rose choosing, I like purple. I love purple. And then we saw the return, and it's been a long time that we never seen her since Total Divas, and so from NXT, and former Focal Dactyls, Miss Ariana Andrew, which is that's her real name. Now, formerly known, I'm not sure if she used her name, Cameron. She came and she's teaming up now with Nyla Rose in that tournament. So, I mean, Mr. Killer, your thoughts about that type of idea, and what are your thoughts now hearing Cameron coming back?
I love it. I was looking at the trophy. Because I missed out on whatever it was, that segment. But when I watched it back, and I saw the trophy, I'm looking, it says Women's Cup. I'm like, what the fuck are they? Women's Tag Team Cup. What is this? Mm-hmm. And then you just explained it to me just now, and it's like, I feel like it's different. And that's what they need to do. They need to stand out, do things different. And with this, they are doing things different. And also bringing in people that haven't been into AEW before, like Cameron. I mean, she couldn't really wrestle really good when she was in WWE, but I don't care. I'd love to see her back. Yeah,
definitely. MGC, what were your thoughts about that? I mean, this tournament and Cameron being back.
I'm really hoping that I'm not really familiar with Cameron, but I'm really hoping that they have the belts at the end of this tournament. Since they're talking about women's tag team, it's going to be a great opportunity to debut a lot of different women. Because if you saw in the Battle Royale, I think, was that at Revolution or was that All Out, the women's Battle Royale? It was one of those two.
I think it was Revolution.
Yeah,
it was
the women's Battle Royale.
Yeah, it was Revolution. It was Revolution.
They have a lot of people in their back pocket. They're still independent, but they show up sometimes for the Battle Royale, and they could be in this tournament. We could see Roddy Piper's daughter, Teal Piper. We could see just a lot. We could see ODB. I think ODB was in that.
Oh, dirty bastard.
Yeah, we could be seeing the ODB. We could be seeing.
I loved her at Impact, man. At TNA, I mean, those are the great times.
Who else could we see? We could also see Jazz. I think what
Oh,
Jazz was in
wow.
that tournament. We could see Jazz make the big comeback, and she could be like Maki Ito, who I talked about with you guys, who's like
Yes.
the Japanese MJF. Like
Yes.
Maki Ito and Jazz would be the two I'd be most anticipating, like if they showed up in this women's tag team tournament.
Yeah.
So.
Mr. Hero, what are your thoughts about this concept?
I love it. I think it's great, really great. It showcases the women's division in a way that they have not been able to in the past few months or in the past year since AEW started. Like we'll get familiar and they'll get to interact with each other. Just in that small segment, we saw how Ariane, who she's actually, that's going to be her real name or ring name. She is interacting right there with Nyla Rose, and it kind of set the tone of how some of these teams are going to go or how they're going to be booked. So I'm very curious to the teams, and I'm glad that it looks the trophy looks better than the one that the women got at WrestleMania. So that looks much better already. I also like that. I also like that they're going to be doing it as tag teams. It's not a singles competition. So we're definitely going to get some interesting teams, and I'm all for it. Tag teams are their strongest in AEW right now, so I'm all for it.
I'm with you guys on that. But I feel like honestly that this women's tag team cup, it reminds me of the obviously Dusty Classic, from NXT. Is like now it's a female version of it, for the AEW women's division tag team, which I don't mind it at all. I think it's very interesting, and like how you said MGC about we might see different competitors coming debuting in AEW, which I'm looking forward to see. And I think this one should be a test for Mr. Kenny Omega, which Mr. Killer disliked as a booker for the women's division.
As did I.
And it's also Mike. And so I mean,
tournaments are great places to build storylines around. So.
Agreed, but the problem is how you book it. That's going to be the biggest test for Kenny Omega, and I'm hoping that Dustin is involved in this as well to make sure that this booking goes correctly right. And I think this is also an eye from Mr. Tony Khan to see who's going to keep on the long-term run and who is just going to be just here and there show up to AEW Dark. That's the way how I see it. I think this is for him to actually, being a scouter in this tournament to see who's he going to keep in the long run and who he's not going to keep, and just keep him as a jobber in AEW Dark. Which I do apologize to say that, ladies and gentlemen, the viewers that compete in AEW Dark was being jobbing, but it's fact. I mean, I'm just saying that.
Rather than jobbers, you could think of them as like trainees in a way. Trainees.
Well, I mean, the only thing I do dislike is the fact that they're being used that way, and because I'll give you one, Aaron Solo. Aaron Solo, I'm a big fan of his work, which obviously, if you guys don't know who Aaron Solo is, he's a husband of Bailey. So he is a great professional wrestler in and outside the ring. He is a dojo champion from the dojo organization. He is now signed with New Japan Dojo in LA, so he's doing that as well. He has
he's a new young lion.
He's a young lion, so I'm looking forward to see more potential of him. And there's a lot of people in that roster of AEW that is Dark that shows up that has a lot of potential. And I agree with you saying, but I just do not like that they're losing every week. No, they should make it different. I think they should just really do it different, because you reminded me of Sunday Night Heat. That's what you reminded me of. Or Shotgun Saturday Night. That's what it is reminding me of. And I don't like it. It should be different. It should be absolutely different. But, that's just my opinion about it. But let's go ahead and move on, obviously, ladies and gentlemen. So we see now before we move on to the main event, we finally see MJF coming out like Mr., President, I love you, yeah, bye, pulling all that off, challenging Jon Moxley at All Out for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. He made good points. I love his promo. This is why he is a Jim Cornette, fan. Jim Cornette loves him a lot. And so I'm going to go ahead and ask you, Mr. MGC, about the promo that MJF threw off. You think it's about time for him to get a title shot, or is it too soon?
So the two biggest, like maybe like the three biggest things coming out of this are, well, first and foremost, if you guys didn't see this on Twitter, FTR actually retweeted that MJF, like they're agreeing with them. So FTR is starting to align more as heels with other heels, and they're just coming out like making their heel intentions more known. So what, like, I have my fingers crossed for is like a FTR and MJF teaming up is like the biggest thing that I want. It's kind of like a reverse version of the Elite, you know, into like Kenny Omega's opposite would be MJF, and then the FTR would be Young Bucks opposite. So this would be like the perfect, you know, rivalry, you know. Other than that, this is the beginning of one of the biggest criticisms AEW has had is their world heavyweight champion, their world champion. The last two were ex-WWE guys. And this is the perfect chance to, not only is it a new talent, it's a non-WWE talent, and it's somebody who's like really over big time, especially somebody who's been talked about, like, and gotten as much praise as MJF. So not only do I think it's the perfect time, I really think I really hope like Moxley drops the title to him, because of the way this is, like that stable could be like the Sons of Cornette, and this could be the perfect time for like Kenny Omega to, like, you know, and then MJF could drop that title to Kenny Omega, and then we could start that whole rivalry, you know, kind of like Roddy Piper, because I think MJF could be like the Roddy Piper to Kenny Omega's Hulk Hogan, or the Triple H to Kenny Omega's Rock. This is kind of going to be what that is for the United States.
Okay.
You know, you need that Captain Hook, like his nemesis, his Moriarty, his Blofeld, his, you know, Lex Luthor to Kenny Omega's Superman, you know, his Joker to Kenny Omega's Batman is MJF. MJF, Kenny Omega is going to be the Roddy Piper, Hulk Hogan, the Triple H, Rock of, you know, nowadays. And you could do so much with that. You could build so much story around that, especially because it's two different philosophies, you know, and they're both really great and entertaining on the mic. So you could have so much. It would be a rich rivalry, and this would be like the best way to just start off, you know.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Mr. Hero, go ahead.
Okay. Granted, I see what MGC was saying about Superman and Lex Luthor. It makes sense, and it's a great concept to kind of base it off of that. However, yes, MJF has been booked like Lex Luthor, like, you know, as the heel, the Captain Hook, right? However, in your example there, Kenny Omega has not been booked as Superman. You know, he has kind of been kind of a side, you know, he's been in the tag team division, right? And
Rose again.
Okay. Yeah, we do apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Just our American hero has been having technical difficulties on his side. So, you know, give him a little bit of time. But go ahead.
The other thing that's going on is FTR talked about Tag Team Appreciation Night.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's going to like eventually turn into like a main event where maybe like FTR gets the tag team titles, and that's why I'm going to think it's going to come out of it, because, you know, they seem set up for it. That's what or groomed for it, especially since they had. I think that's what they talked about in that contract signing is real. Like the tag rope. We're not going to do 10-second, you know.
I think I say that's a story plot, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But Mr. Hero, you were saying, go ahead.
Apologize to the people at home. My internet has been going through some problems lately. But anywho, back, you know, what I was trying to say is that MJF, a part of me feels that it's not time yet. A part of me thinks that it's a little too early for him to get to the main title. He's young, and he's capable. He's proven that he's capable as a heel to do it. But I don't know. I'd be okay with him if he wins it, and I'm sure it would be a good title, good first title reign. But a part of me does think it's a little early. Maybe as a transitional champion.
Yeah,
perhaps.
yeah, that's what I was about to say.
But you know, we'll see what happens. And honestly, yes, it's a little too early, but I actually do I would like to see MJF beat John Moxley. I want to see that happen.
Wow. Mr. Killer, what do you feel about MJF being the next world champ?
I would love it. Randy Orton, you remember him becoming the youngest world heavyweight champion in the WWE?
Yes, sir.
And who was a great heel at the time and still is, and who's the best heel in AEW right now that is young?
MJF.
It would
They
set a
need
new
to do
record.
They
It would be a
need
new
to do
record.
it. Yeah, they need to do it while he's young. Pull the trigger while he's young. Have
They could
him
get that
be-
Guinness Book World Record youngest ever champion or something. I don't know who the youngest ever world champion was of the organization.
Randy Orton.
Randy.
Yeah.
24.
Unless you count other titles.
MJF's only
Nicholas
22 or
and-
23, right? He's like
22.
Yeah, he's
That's
22.
He would break that record.
Yeah, and
Okay.
AEW gets to keep that record. They get to put that on the whole. They get to keep claiming that.
Wait, but I think
um,
we're forgetting about someone. We're forgetting about Dominic, WWE or Universal Champion. Make it happen,
Really?
WWE.
How old was he?
Book it first.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here
Dominic, World
first.
Yeah, book it.
But
Now,
But I got-
MJF, world heavyweight champion. Think about it. He won the title. He could brag about that the rest of his career. Oh, the youngest world heavyweight champion of all time, motherfuckers. He could do that
if for
rest of
some
his career.
if for some reason they don't like the people responsible for booking or Moxley refuses to drop the title to him, at least I want the rivalry to like go on a while, and then we could get like a special like bloody gimmick match or something out of it, like a lumberjack match or some sort of cage match or a revenge match. MJF, like he could do the whole sore loser angles, like no, you cheated Moxley, and then and then they have another rematch like right away at the following pay-per-view, and it's like really bloody or whatever, or just really, and then the best thing of all is the promos that you get out of an MJF rivalry, because we saw how amazing and rich and fun that whole how rich of story the whole Cody versus MJF rivalry was. We had so many moments and so many great, the belt whipping and the Wardlow in a cage and all the the pool stuff, So we imagine all the moments we're going to get from the Moxley rivalry, coming up down the line. I was excited,
Right. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing it. Do I see him winning the belt? No, I think it's too soon. It's way too soon for him to win the belt. I think he should have gone for the TNT belt, beat Cody twice, and make the TNT belt actually more prestigious in regard. Now, I understand that obviously it's two former WWF talent that won, the belt. I see MJF winning it later on. I don't see him winning it now. I think it should be now one of the elites to take it. I think it should be Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega.
Everybody's voting for Kenny at the moment.
Kenny should go heel. If not, I would give it to Adam Page. Adam Page go straight heel. Go straight forward, a heel faction, go against the elite, and let him go forward, be a singles run to win the belt, which we all were expecting him to win when it was the first, title run versus Jericho. I mean, we were expecting that, but obviously the things turned around. But it didn't make sense for Jericho to win in the first place. But I want Adam Page to it's time for him to shine. I think everybody else had their moment of shine. Adam Page is the only one that's been left out, and you know that for a fact. In New Japan, he come on. It's about his time now. I think it's Adam Page's time for him to get the belt and for him to be the greatest heel of all and just turn his back on the elite and make him go heel.
Do any of you guys know if Jay White was the youngest ever IWGP heavyweight champion?
Yes, he was the youngest IWGP.
Yeah.
No, wait, no. Okada still is.
Okay,
Okada
so
still is.
Okada was the youngest.
Okada still is.
When he first won it.
Yes.
It was because Jay White like right before Hangman Page left, his last big rivalry, I mean one of his last biggest rivalries in New Japan was him versus Jay White.
Yes.
For the US title.
Yes.
That was like what was going on.
I was looking forward to seeing that. And that was really I mean, which I don't recall it, but I need to get refresh my memory. But moving on with the main event, ladies and gentlemen, we obviously the Tornado Tag Team, which was Darby Allin, Jon Moxley versus basically Ricky Starks and Brian Cage. I liked before I even ask anyone, I'm going to give once again myself my apologies. So great match, great tornado tag team match. I loved it. I like that Ricky Starks is getting his push. Obviously, Josh, myself, we know his career from NWA and other indie promotions. He's a great pro wrestler, great on the mic. I like that faction with him and Cage and Taz. I don't mind it. I like that Taz is working with this type of talent and pushing them over. But other than that, it was a great match, great ending to it. I like how he pulled it off, shaking the leg, with the thumbtacks, behind. Like, that was great off of Darby Allin, by the way. I love it. And also Moxley made a comment saying that Darby Allin is the next Jeff Hardy of the future of AEW. I agree with Moxley on that 100%. So I'm going to go ahead and ask you, Mr. Killer, what were your thoughts about the tornado match, and also that Darby Allin is going to face Jon Moxley for the AEW Championship next Wednesday?
I'm looking forward to it. I mean, obviously, we know that Darby Allin is probably not – he's not going to win the title. They're saving that for MJF and Moxley. Mm-hmm. And Moxley's already had the belt for a long period of time, so maybe I hope that we do see MJF win the title. But that feud right there is going to be good. But speaking of the tag team match, oh, my God. Ricky Starks in there. Wow. I love seeing him out there. The group they got put together with Ricky Starks and Taz as the manager. We do Brian Cage. You would have never thought they would be together as a group, but it works. It works. For some reason, it works. Whatever they're doing, it works, and they need to keep doing it.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Hero, your thoughts about it?
Right off the bat, I really like that Taz handed over the microphone to Ricky Starks and gave him some time to speak. I remember when he challenged for the TNT Championship. That was the first time I saw him, and they did this promo, and I immediately saw that he had really good mic skills. So I'm glad that they're not shutting that down. My goodness, that spot with the skateboard and the thumbtacks, woo boy, I would not I would not go ahead and do that. Oh my goodness.
The back and the way he landed, the blood.
Yeah, man. The way he landed was kind of like sideways and it just skid off. Yeah, you could see the pain right there. There's no need to sell on that one because, I'm sure he felt that, and he's probably still feeling that right now. But as far as this, what Moxley said about Darby Allin be the next Jeff Hardy, I see it definitely, and it's not just a face paint. I see that kind of lifestyle almost,
right?
So definitely, I like that he's ranked number 5. He's up there like in the top contenders for the title, and that he's getting his title shot. It kind of came out of nowhere, I feel, but hey, top 5, sure, you're able to get a title shot. And even if he doesn't get it, hopefully it turns out to be like the Jeff Hardy match versus The Undertaker, where it kind of elevated him into the next level. You know what I'm saying?
I'm with you on that. I was about to say that, but I'm with you on that 100%.
Yeah,
great minds think alike. Great minds think alike.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, hopefully something like that goes on, and we're in for a good match. So yeah, and there's this video on YouTube where Darby Allin did this coffin drop on Sammy Guevara's friend on a 7-Eleven. That I enjoy, I really like. So yeah, I'm a fan of Darby Allin. So hopefully it's a good match.
All right, Mr. MGC, what are your thoughts?
I think one of the biggest things, like Ricky Starks, kind of proved like how much punishment he could take. I haven't seen like all of his work. I watched him on NWA Power, him as the NWA television champion. And he's a great worker. But like one of the things about Darby Allin, I think those who haven't seen that documentary, The Wrestlers, where they talk about hardcore wrestling, and Darby Allin takes a shovel. Somebody takes a shovel to this area under your armpit, and he gets cut with the shovel under, like violently cut, and he's bleeding like crazy. Like, he already lost the match, and and Darby Allin didn't even want to go to the hospital, and he's bleeding like crazy, and he's like, yeah, I don't want to pay for that hospital, or I don't want to pay for the emergency room. Just can somebody just sew me up or something? Like it was brutal. And I think it was Cody who said that Darby Allin to him is more like the next Sting. I don't really 100% agree with him being like Sting, but face paint and baby face, I'll say
hell no.
No
chance.
chance.
That's what Cody says.
Cody's way off of that. If he did say
He
that,
must have
that's
been
it.
smoking something that day.
He was probably drunk that day. No, he was probably like too lightheaded on his cigars.
That's why Cody's giving him much in those matches, he has with them. Cody loves Darby, so that's why I guess I could see like the way he's booked and everything, in those big matches. I really like that ambush that Moxley and Darby did. That was really cool. Just kind of like, we're waiting for you kind of thing, kind of, and I like that they were kind of like the underdogs, so it made like the bigness of Starks and Brian Cage. And like listening to the funny thing is, I think like everybody like MJF, FTR, and Taz were all listening to the Cornette podcast like in detail, because Cornette said something about like, why is Taz standing closer to the camera? And that's why Taz like backed up and put Brian Cage, like, I don't want to piss people off. I'm gonna have Brian Cage stand up here closer to the camera. I'm like, what? And then like, if he's so big, why is he standing in the foreground? It's like, I have a question for everybody, but what do you think is going to come of that the angle with both like Adam Page and FTR and Tag Team Appreciation Night?
Oh, I don't know where they're going to go with this, but I feel that this is a tease that FTR is finally going to turn heel and then one for the tag belts. I think, which we did say it in archive, ladies and gentlemen, so make sure you subscribe to our channel. We discussed before about maybe FTR winning the belts and then jumping into the Young Bucks. It might happen that way. We don't know. It's just too much. It's too much. Honestly, it's too much for me to overthink, because I don't know where it's going. I'd rather just see where it goes, let it go. I like it so far. They're teasing a heel. So, I mean, which is going to happen eventually. But we'll wait to see what happens. Anybody?
Yeah, I mean, I like the anticipation for this. Tag Team Appreciation Night. I wonder what that's gonna entail. But I appreciate tag teams year round, so it's all good for me. As for a heel turn, maybe it'll be interesting to see something like that. I like the slow burn. I like things taking their time, long-term booking, and if this kind of contributes to that, then I'm all for it.
Did you kill it?
Oh man, yeah, definitely. It's time to show the world AEW's got the best tag team division already. So let's fucking go ahead and do this too, because everything that is tag team wrestling is going to be known as AEW. When you think about tag team wrestling from now on, you're going to picture AEW. When they do stuff like this, it's different and it stands out, like I'm saying, and they need to do more of it.
Oh yeah,
Tag Team Appreciation Night. Let's do it.
I'm looking forward to seeing that. We're all looking forward to seeing that, ladies and gentlemen. So go ahead and thank you very much for tuning in to Circle Debate at podcast episode number 13. So stay tuned for this Sunday as we're going to go ahead and give our top 5 of the week, which we're going to give our top 5 Mount Rushmores, the greatest wrestlers of all time. Okay, obviously we have 4 Mount Rushmore, 4 presidents of Mount Rushmores, but we have our 5 that we're going to have the greatest wrestlers of all time. Just tune in on Sunday to watch that. And also don't forget to tune in next Sunday for week 14, our top 5, which will be top 5 greatest matches of all time, which is our top 5 favorite matches of all time for the past and present. So that's going to be our next top 5 for that for week 14. So stay tuned for that. And also stay tuned for next week's episode, week 14, as we go ahead and actually discuss what's going on more for the details in the pro wrestling news world, SmackDown, Raw, AEW, Dynamite, NXT, and more. So this is once again your host, Devious One Ivan C, alongside with the hero of all heroes, your hero, ladies and gentlemen, my hero, and Josh's hero as well, and MGC's hero, the American hero, Mike Lopez. And we got the reputation killer of all killers, TikTok, because he will kill your Twitter. He will destroy it. He will delete it. So be careful what reputation killer.
Be careful
Josh.
what you wish for, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right, Josh Horton. And we also got Mr. MGC, Matthew Carateja. There you go. We're playing the saying, good night, everybody. Salud. We love you
Salud.
guys. And see you next week and on Sunday.